Good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, and welcome to NerdTube. And it's time to talk about WrestleMania 40. We have a nice round table debate here with some of our usual wrestle heads. Before we start going, let me introduce you all. We have Cheeto, Ginger Greek, and D Jose. So let's straight get off to talking about this particular show. Cheeto, how did you find WrestleMania 40?
I found this WrestleMania. Ooh, yeah, I dug it.
They got to you, man. They got to you. Looks like you're eating a dry turd.
I need to try that. I need to try that.
Evening, Rick.
Good evening.
Rick, give us your thoughts on WrestleMania in the comments. You can split your comments.
Listen, I had this big, long, meaty thing. A big, thick, long, meaty thing in my mouth.
That's what she said.
If you could elaborate a bit, please.
I actually thought it was a really good WrestleMania. I have not. Now I'm not gonna lie. I'm not. I haven't been a WrestleHead for a while, but I watch here and there. I keep up with what we talk about on here. But I thought it was actually a really good card and really good matches. There were a couple duds in there, like the Bobby Lashley Street Profits match was kind of a dud for me. But I besides that, nothing really else sticks out to me as like a really bad match. And I don't have the card up in front of me, so I'm sure there was another one. But honestly, there were at least, I would say, good to excellent matches on this card, and they delivered a lot of them. Even the Logan Paul match, which I cringe at. Still, Orton and Kevin Owens made that match tolerable because it was absolutely hilarious what they were doing. So honestly, I can't really say too much about this Mania other than good for them. Like, good for them for listening to the fans. Good for them for really pulling out all the stops.
Yep. All right, Ginger Greek.
Yeah, so it really was a day of two nights because night one was mostly meh and night two was mostly good. Night one is giving us possibly one of the worst wrestling matches in WrestleMania, and this one hurt because it was the Uso brothers.
Oh yeah,
and that hurt. That really hurt because the Usos are one of my all-time favorite tag teams. They've just been consistently awesome, but the statistics always say when you pit brother against brother, it just doesn't work. We've only ever had it work once, and that was Bret and Owen Hart. The Hardys fought against each other. Shit, they fought each other a couple of times, never had a good match. There's been a couple of others that I forget.
Outside of WrestleMania, the Steiners have fought against each other. The Steiners have fought against each other.
Yeah, and again, in WCW they fought against each other, and that was never great. Nothing great there. So I was really disappointed with that. The first match of night two is one of the greatest opening matches ever for WrestleMania. Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins was a spectacular match. And then what happened afterwards was just as incredible. I marked out like a madman because this is where I love wrestling. All right? This is where I love wrestling, where you're just going to be like, you know what? We've got this guy. He's had this fucking briefcase for ages. So we're just going to cash it in now and just throw a great big monkey wrench into everything. And I loved it. I did when wrestling is unpredictable in a good way, it's the best. And I'll go into further thoughts about all the other matches later on. But the two main events on the first and second night were spectacular. Night two, an absolute clusterfuck, but in a great way. And but there was quite a few duds, especially night one. But overall, I really enjoyed it. Night two, I really enjoyed it a lot. So those are my thoughts.
Yep.
Jose.
Night one felt like a Rush Raw episode with the WrestleMania set. It was cool to see R-Truth finally get his moment, and Sami Zayn got to play Rocky Balboa, and I thought that was cool. But other than that, nothing else really stuck out for me for night one. Night two was WrestleMania. Night two was fucking fantastic. I have to interject. with Ginger's point. If you guys didn't read Drew McIntyre's fucking Twitter before he went out, 10 minutes before he went out, he tweeted, "Bored at work, LOL." And then immediately after he lost, he just tweets, "Fuck." And that was it. Drew McIntyre's Twitter game has been fucking on fire. If you don't follow Drew McIntyre on Twitter, you're missing out on some great fucking tweets. But yeah, I thought that the main event, it was a pure clusterfuck. They didn't get the one guy that everybody thought was going to show up, but we'll get into that later. But night 2 of WrestleMania saved WrestleMania for me.
I personally, I loved it from start to finish. Every match for me, when we do our markings, not one will get below a 6 out of 10. I've watched other WrestleMania. The one of the reasons why I logged off on wrestling is because I don't think it's always that great under Vince, but you can really tell Vince's hands is not on this product anymore in any capacity whatsoever. And it really showed with this WrestleMania, and I loved it. It was well paced. Every match, there were certain matches where you thought to yourself, this could be the stinker, and it just improved. Like Io Sky and Bailey, which was a lot better than I thought it might be. I thought that could be the dud. It was really great. Io Sky doesn't get enough credit.
You can tell you don't watch wrestling, because for you to think that that's going to be the dud, that's just triggered me.
I'm sorry. I do apologize, but I just thought I just at some point I'm expecting a dud. You know, like, where's the dud? Where's the dud? And like that wasn't it. I thought that could be it. I mean, all right, fair enough. I was wrong. Obviously, I don't watch it enough.
And I know
I'm showing that.
No, but that's what I mean. That's what I mean. It's because you don't watch wrestling. That's why, because you wouldn't. If you did, you wouldn't have said that.
Yep.
I'm not. I'm just saying, like, I would have been like, if you
so
watch wrestling and you thought that would have been the dud, I would have been triggered.
No, but look, when I was watching wrestling, there was matches like when Eddie Guerrero fought Chris Benoit on ECW One Night Stand, and it was a stinker. You can be a quality wrestler, 2 quality wrestlers, and have shit matches. It's not unheard of. It does happen. Yeah, you know. So
absolutely. I mean, look at the Usos.
Yeah. And I know we're not going to get into everything, but the fuck you Vinces like that we got throughout like the Hall of Fame, and then with Stephanie and Triple H coming out like this is a new era and we're changing up shit. I thought that was great. When Paul Heyman, if you haven't gone out of your way to watch Paul Heyman's Hall of Fame speech, you need to see it.
Also, by the way, they were so lucky that this wasn't in the United Kingdom, because if Stephanie McMahon came out, those English fans would have started a chant about about her dad, no doubt. You know what I mean? So they were very lucky it was in Philly. And by the way, great crowd in Philly. They really made this. Usually, a lot of fans by the tail end of a WrestleMania, they just tuck it out. But both nights they gave it everything. So fantastic. Anyway, let's start talking about the matches. Sorry, go on.
Yep.
I just want to say the reason being is because all the other Mania matches that just kind of end up being quite formulaic, and so the crowd kind of dies out. But this one had quite a few twists and turns, which that's really pepped the crowd up. That's what kind of got them reignited every time, because you just never know what was going to wait. I just want to, before we go into the comments, sorry,
go to the chat. Yeah, go to the chat.
Yeah, just want to go to the chat here. So this one here, okay, I've got the picture for this. So this is about Damian Priest, and this is what he means, and I absolutely creased out laughing. He goes, bisexual Undertaker and the Rainbow Ministry.
I died when he went up the ramp and he ran up to the ramp, and I'm like, he's running kind of gay, so I guess it kind of makes it work for him.
Yeah. That cracked me up.
I've been saying they needed to push him forever, and I'm glad he got the world head. Like, I wanted Drew McIntyre to win, like, for sure. Like, and Seth Rollins, as I said, I like Seth Rollins, but he's injured and like he's just falling apart. And like
he needs a holiday.
He needs a holiday. Roman Reigns needs a holiday. Like, these two guys need to go. And like Seth Rollins had that belt for 11 months. Like, it's about time they handed off that title to someone else.
Yeah.
And I'm just glad the way they did it, because now they kind of taken Seth Rollins out of the equation, because now Drew beat Seth, but then also Damian Priest beat Drew. So now we kind of have this rivalry between Drew and Damian, and then also CM Punk in the background when he returns.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. And Rick, I'd like to thank you for sharing your password with me so I could watch WrestleMania. It means a lot.
Nice.
Thank you very much. So he gives it. We'll come back to that
We'll
comment
come
later.
back to that,
Rating.
yeah.
Dan, back to you. Sorry.
All right, okay, fine. First of all right, fellas. Becky Lynch versus Rhea Ripley, opening of night one. Cheetah, what do you think?
Actually,
what's your
that's
marks?
the one I didn't see of night one. So
All right,
that's
fair
the
enough.
only match I have not seen yet. I know obviously Rhea Ripley won, but I came in just after that match. I came in during the next one.
All right, Ginger, what are you thinking? Are you happy with the result?
Yes, definitely happy with the result. The match was good, but here's where we start getting into some of the things that irk me, and I'll be as brief as I can with it. When you look at women's wrestling during the NXT era and then the early days of the Four Horsewomen, and how like raw and punchy and rough it was, and like fucking all out balls to the wall, and Becky Lynch being among those, it's kind of become a bit too much like light spot monkey kind of crap. A lot of the women, and this is why I'm glad Rhea Ripley won, because she's not like that. She's not doing her spots. She's rough. She's gonna fuck you up. She's a beast. Raquel Rodriguez, the same as well. But people like Becky Lynch, Liv Morgan, all the kind of ones that aren't strong and rely on a specific set of moves. They're becoming too routine, too many expected spots, and these spots are really weak, like jumping from the bottom turnbuckle, kicking them with a soft kicks, like all this kind of crap. And that's what's really pissing me off about the current era of women's wrestling. I see it on NXT, and I don't know why it's become like this. I really don't. But that being said, thank God Rhea Ripley won, because like she is the best female wrestler on that roster.
And
by a
hasn't
mile.
she? But she's had the belt for a year at this point, right?
Yeah.
And she's had it for a year, and she's done a great job with it. She is, as high a caliber as your Roman Reigns, as your Seth Rollins, and all of that. And it's evident when you create a whole pay-per-view in her country and make her the main event star. All right, she is money. She is spectacular. She is just an absolute beast, and they book her brilliantly. But she needs better opposition, and I'm sad to say that Raquel Rodriguez, who's somebody I'd elevate to the main event, is taking leave indefinitely because of her health issues. So I'm hoping she returns. But
Yeah, I like Rhea Ripley. I really think she's great.
Can I do ratings, or is that for later?
Yeah, rate it now.
Yeah, I'd give it a 6 out of 10. It was solid enough.
I like Rhea Ripley, and you gave it a 6.
Well, yeah, it's still good for wrestling because of Becky's. I know Becky was ill, but even when she's not ill, she does too many spots.
Yeah,
too much of the spot monkey stuff.
Jose,
I thought it felt like a good Monday Night Raw match. Like if you were watching an episode of Raw and they went at it, you'd be like, oh, okay, it was good. It was a decent match. I mean, was it anything that you're going to go back and watch a year from now? Most likely no, but it was just your average 6 out of 10 match. That's what I'm going to give it. Rhea winning, it helps solidify like the Judgment Day to an extent. Like, okay, Rhea got her shit in, and I'm going to go ahead and make this comparison. Rhea is everything China should have been. I truly believe that. Yeah. Rhea is everything China should have been.
Okay, fair enough.
Yep.
I like this match a lot. I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. The reason being is I like a match where I don't know who's going to win it. I mean, my money was on Rhea, but I wasn't 100% sure. If Becky Lynch had won it, I would have been okay, fair due. So I give it an 8 out of 10. I thought it was.
Zam gave it an 8 out of 10 because boobies.
good curve.
We're not here for this kind of sexist banter, Cheetah. How dare you?
All right, okay. Second match on the card was the 6-pack tag ladder match. This is like spot fest galore. 12 men in a ladder match with 2 sets of tag team title development. This was the way, obviously, to separate the tag team title, because how else are you going to do it? It's pretty much impossible any other way. So this is how they did it in a ladder match. I'm going to go in reverse order now. Jose, what do you think?
I am vehemently against them splitting the titles up because this brand split means absolutely fucking nothing when everyone goes everywhere anyway. So they did not need to do this. But congratulations to Austin Theory and Grayson Waller for winning the SmackDown titles. And the moment of the match, I don't care what anyone says, is Truth getting the hot tag, coming in and paying homage to his childhood hero, John Cena. I thought that was fantastic stuff, and Truth finally got his moment. It was fantastic stuff. This is at least a 7 out of 10 for me.
Ginger?
I hated this match. I'm sick and tired of ladder matches. I'm sick and tired of these fucking weak ass spot monkey shit. I really can't stand it. The only thing I liked was Theory and Waller winning the titles. I feel bad for the Judgment Day given what happened in night 2. It would have been nice if they had the tag belts as well. And then they just worked on a Freebird kind of style after the fact with Priest being champ. But that being said, Austin Theory is somebody, because he was Vince's guy, he got buried, as a message to say to, like, this, your era is done. But now they're slowly building him up. And the guy looks money, okay? He's a fantastic look. He's definitely a future champion. But his stuff with Grayson Waller at the moment is really good. So I'm glad he won it. R-Truth, The Miz winning it. If it was a singular belt and they had won it, it would have been a cool, feel-good moment. They always deserve something, those two, for the work that they've put in, especially R-Truth, who should have been a world champion contender during that whole crazy period. In fact, he should have fucking won the belt. He should have been one of the first black champions.
Yes.
And again, he just got screwed and turned into a massive joke. But I can't give this anything more than a 4 out of 10 for me. That's it. And all 4 points go to just the winners, basically.
Okay. All right, Cheeto.
I mean, I like this match. But I agree with Ginger. It was a spot fest. I 100% agree with Ginger as well. I mean, you got the Miz and R-Truth, and it's a decade too late. And I mean, they've been Miz and R-Truth have been doing this tag team thing. Like, I know that was this their first time actually winning the belts together, but I know that they've R-Truth is like what, like a 13 time,
52.
Huh?
50. Oh, sorry, I thought you meant his age. He's 52.
No, I know he's 52. He's up there and he looks great.
He's like a 7,000 time hardcore or 24/7 champion.
Yeah, and I mean, but no, it's way after the fact, and we kind of get into this in one of the other.
52. He's 43.
No, Truth is 52.
Truth is 52.
Yeah, Truth is 52. Yeah.
I knew he was in his 50s.
Yeah, Miz is in his 40s. Miz is my age.
Yeah,
okay.
Miz is young.
He looks great. He looks great for his age as well.
But I mean, this is just way beneath these two. I'm sorry, like them doing this whole WrestleMania moment. Honestly, they should have built R-Truth up throughout this year and then done the WrestleMania moment for R-Truth next year at Mania, having Cody Rhodes or whoever the champion is at that point versus R-Truth in the main event, because R-Truth is over. R-Truth is so over, and now that they're actually listening to the fans, you could have even a SummerSlam match between Cody Rhodes and R-Truth. You know, like, have two faces go at it. You know what I mean? Like,
if you put the belt on R-Truth, nobody would hate that.
No one would hate it. It would be a universal thing. Casuals and hardcore would love it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. You know what I mean? And it's just this tag team thing just feels like it's beneath R-Truth, especially Miz.
Yep.
I've always liked Miz as a heel. I don't like it when they try to turn him face. This match was pretty good. I give it a 7 out of 10. I didn't know half of the tag teams in here. I knew the New Day, and I knew obviously Miz and R-Truth, and I kind of recognize some of the other ones. Austin Theory, I know, but the rest of them I didn't. But I did enjoy this match for what it was, the spot fest. So that's kind of where I rest with that one.
Okay. Yeah, I love it. I mean, it's a ladder match. It's going to be a spot fest. I mean, you can't expect anything more than that. We got that crazy bumps, admiration for these guys taking these bumps on steel ladders. Absolutely loved it. I like the way that we got the new and the old winning titles. I have no problem with face Miz, because sometimes when you have been a heel for a long time and you've been in the industry for a long time, people appreciate you, pay you dues, and you can't help but be appreciated as a face.
Miz will get cheered the rest of his life just because of his years of service. So, I don't think he'll ever get fully hated again.
I just think there's no championships in him besides like tag team as a face.
Well, and the fact that R-Truth finally got his dues paid for after losing several WrestleManias. This is one of the, was a quick sidetrack here. One of the things I hated about the commentary in this entire show, which is the only real negative I'll give it, is that sometimes I felt like they were telegraphing things, the commentators, listening to them, like, oh, R-Truth hasn't won a WrestleMania in 7 years. I was like, all right, great.
They've always done that, though. I mean,
no, yeah, but to be fair, Michael Cole even mentioned that he also gave thanks to his stats guy. He was like, the only reason I know this is because of he mentioned the name.
What's his name?
I just felt I felt things were a little bit more telegraphed. Maybe I'm more aware of it this time around. But regardless, I was happy that the old and the new won it. Great spots as well. It's what you expect from a ladder match. It got the crowd going. I was buzzing for it. I'm going to give this another 8 out of 10. All right. On to the next match: Rey Mysterio and Andrade versus Santos Escobar and Dominic Mysterio tag match. Okay, I'll start with you, Ginge. What do you think?
Completely forgettable. Absolute waste of some fantastic wrestlers, and the biggest waste, obviously, things went haywire because of Dominic Mysterio was meant to actually face Brock Lesnar originally, but that obviously got. But to stick him in.
That was supposed to happen at Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, that was supposed to happen at the Chamber.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. My bad. But either way, this was a waste of Dominic Mysterio. The guy is nuclear heat, and you stick him in this pathetic tag match with a fucking faction that's not even nothing to do with him, just because the Rey Mysterio connection is there. This is endemic of some of the lingering dumb shit that they still do in wrestling, like apart from most of their pay-per-views being dull as shit. Okay, even post Vince, this is one of those things. It just didn't make sense. Dominic Mysterio should have been, in the position where some other wrestlers, like the street fight, shouldn't have happened. It should have been Dominic Mysterio fighting against somebody. But yeah, this match was completely forgettable. I'm just going to give it literally a 0 out of 10 just because it was. I just don't remember anything spectacular in it. It was just boring. So, and a waste. So 0.
Okay. I'll go with you, Cheeto.
I mean, I agree with Ginger. This seemed like I didn't know a lot of the wrestlers in this match besides Rey and Dominic, and I feel like they could have put Dominic in a match against somebody to elevate him. Put Dominic in a match with I don't know. I mean, have him. I said this before. I think that Kevin Owens and Randy Orton should have had a singles match and put Dominic in there against not LA Knight,
Logan Paul.
Logan Paul
for the U.S. title,
and have him win the title.
That would have slapped.
And then you would have had a triple crown. Like it would have been Judgment Day's night. That would have been spectacular.
But that's how I would have booked that match. I mean, as I said, I kept on thinking like after the Logan Paul match, I was like, and I think I said it to you last night, Ginger. I was like, man, the Kevin Owens and Orton should have had their own match. They were doing great. And like Logan Paul, just put him in a match with Dominic. Dominic could have probably carried him in that match. And Logan Paul, from what I've seen, is okay in the ring so far. But
I'll say this about Logan Paul: spectacular, absolute talent. He's taken to wrestling like a duck to water, but he's just a piece of shit human being, and I cannot give him any time of day because he's garbage. So that's why, and that's
why he's a heel.
Yeah, and he does a great job with that. But just knowing all the shitty things that he's done outside of it. I just can't. I can't.
So I'll give this one a 4 out of 10 just because there were some interesting, like it was a little bit entertaining. Like there was a couple race spots that were nice, but I agree with you. It made this Ginger was right. It's thrown together match. Hey, we need people on the card. You know what I mean? Like, so let's throw these people in a 6-man tag and let's make, or was it 6-man tag or was it tag? It was a tag.
The tag. Yeah.
Tag.
This is equivalent to like when they had like JBL win the Intercontinental title out of nowhere and they were like, oh, fuck, what are we going to do? Oh, I know. Let's put him in there with Rey Mysterio. That's exactly what the fuck this was. It was like, oh, okay, we got to have a tag match for Rey. Oh, yeah, let's throw Dominic in there. They should have had Dominic retire Rey Mysterio last year at WrestleMania, and I will always stand by that.
I don't agree with that only because
I think Mysterio can still go.
Yeah, Mysterio can still go. But I
that
think
would have been a cool storyline if it was like father versus son and Rey's retirement matchup. Yeah.
When it happens, then, it should be Dominic that retires.
Yeah, I really think they need to put distance between Dominic and Ray right now, because that was hot and heavy last year.
Yeah,
and
that
I feel
was
like
great.
them doing this again.
That's what I mean.
They're on runs on Raw, ones on SmackDown.
Yep.
But they put them, but like Dominic got thrown into this, like it was such a last minute bollocks. That's what it was. Just
But overall, for me, I'm going to go ahead and agree with you guys. This is honestly like a 3 out of 10 for me. It's one of those matches where I only saw it once. I'll never watch it again because it was a forgettable match. Like, I don't even remember anything about it. It was just there for the sake of being there.
This is where being a fair weather fan, it works for me now, because you all make valid points, but I'm just going to judge this by the match. Yes, this is a Raw match or whatever. I get it. But as a match, I thought there were some good spots. That moment where that guy got flinged off the rope and did that incredible distance he covered.
Yeah, that was cool.
Every time.
I've never, because I don't see that shit. I thought I fucking marked out for that. Overall, it had some good moments. Those dickhead NFLers at the end, that shit.
There was that shit as well. Yeah, there you go.
But still, I had a good time with this match. I thought it had some good spots and good moments. I enjoyed it enough to give it a warranted 7 out of 10. All right, on to the next match: Jimmy Uso versus Jey Uso. Jose,
Hero.
Oh my God! Wait, that happened. That's a 2. That's a 2. Let's just move on. It was the most boring fucking match, I think, the entire WrestleMania. It really was. Because
the most memorable bit was Jimmy or Jay's entrance. Whoever the good guy.
I hated that entrance. I hated the entrance.
We don't do that yeet shit here. I hate yeet, and I hate all of you for it. I hate each
only
and
get
every
the
one.
Zero for having Little Wayne in there as well.
Yeah. Fuck
I
Little
can't
Wayne.
stand. I hate Little Wayne. I fucking hate that little.
Listen, I love Pat McAfee when
him and Drake ruined clubbing for me. Because all you'd hear was their fucking music. Every time I'd berate the DJs. I'd be like, listen to you stupid fucking cunt. You're a DJ. You're meant to be ushering in good music for people. You're just playing shit that they want, but they don't even follow. Play something good. Play something original. Every fucking week, it's the same 2 cunts.
But let me go ahead and just get this out the way. I know people had expectations for this. I did, but I'm like, midway through, I was about to fall asleep because I thought this was just so boring. It was like, I get that you're trying to do like we got to break the bloodline up.
Hey,
we're going to start. Hello, Ron. We're going to start doing, the dissension of the bloodline. The good guy wins. Yay. This needed a stipulation, I think, and it might have been a better match if they would have done maybe make it like the street fight instead of doing the Street Profits and whoever the fuck versus Karrion Kross's guys. Jimmy and Jay in a street fight would have been that would have been some good shit if you would have had a stipulation behind it. But this gets a 2.
Ginger, Mark?
I said 0.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Cheetah?
I said 2. The best part of the match was when Michael Cole was yelling at Pat McAfee he's like, why are your hips so aggressive? That was my favorite part of the whole match.
Okay, I really wanted this match to work simply because of the rivalry, male twins fighting each other for the first time, and I believe, and all of that. I think they tried to go down the storytelling route, obviously them being brothers and being in the industry for 15 years. For me, the wrong person won. It should have been Jimmy. Jimmy needed this win more than Jay does. He really does, because Jimmy right now is just a lackey. Jay is a solo star, and I really was hoping Jimmy would win it. Other than that, I didn't mind it. Like constant stream of super kicks, it was quite original as far as I was concerned. So I'm giving it a 6 out of 10.
Now, you've never seen the Young Bucks match, obviously.
Yeah, you haven't watched the Young Bucks wrestle.
Yeah. No, I have a couple of times, but this was original for the WWE. Okay, what was next on the card? And that is Gunter versus Sami Zayn.
Oh, can I take this one first?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
5 fucking stars storytelling. I loved when Zayn was making his entrance, and I love what they're doing. I have to touch on the presentation. Now that we've gotten away from the fact that they're showing people walking from backstage to Gorilla, like that amped this fucking up for me. And it was like, okay, Sammy tells his wife and kids hey kid, you can't watch this match. Daddy's going to go do some things. And then he talks to his wife, kisses his wife. And then he walks up and then he sees KO, and KO's like, go get your title, go kick ass, go do it. That was some cool shit. I like the presentation that they're going, and I like that they touched on Rocky with Gunther playing Ivan Drago and Sami Zayn was Balboa. This was the match of the night, easily for me. 5-star classic. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Go out of your way to see this Intercontinental title match. Props to Gunther for a 666-day reign.
If you don't mind, I'll go second on this one.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I almost wish there was like now Gunther will probably be in the main event picture. You almost wish there was another main event title belt because there's only so much wealth that can be shared around.
Yep.
Overall, I fantastic. I mean, I'm really happy that there's a payoff for Sami Zayn. People wanted it. They were behind him. I loved it. It was emotional. It told a great story. Both people done really well. This was the mini Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes fight in a way. This was a preview of it to a degree, but there's a lot of similarities. Fantastic stuff. I hope Gunther doesn't dwell after this. I really hope they genuinely use him because I'm a bit worried where they could put him in the card in the future now.
I want Gunther to go old school. Okay, he elevated the Intercontinental title. Let's do the workhorse thing. He did that. Now he needs to transition to world title time. Let's go old school here at WWE. Let's make that happen.
You can make Bret Hart for the WWE title. I mean,
oh yeah, easy.
I wouldn't mind it maybe if you go for another mid card title if they could somehow figure out a way of him getting the US title in some capacity. Because the problem with
he's already been there.
It's world title time. Yeah, it's world title time.
But either way, I'm going to mark it 9 out of 10. It was a phenomenal match. Crowd was involved. Great performance. Great emotion. Great story. Everything. I loved it. Cheeto.
I mean, I love this match. This was a great match. The problem is at the very end when they said, now Sami Zayn is a 4-time Intercontinental champion. I'm like, you guys are playing this like I didn't know he was an Intercontinental champion before today.
Yeah.
They really played it as his first singles championship, and that's the problem. It's like, and I get it, like the hurdle of Gunther and Sami Zayn pulling it off, but it's still like it's his 4th title reign.
Yeah, when they said that, it kind of takes the mystique out of it. So I see what you mean.
Yeah. So I mean, as I said, and I just didn't know if I maybe knew he was a 4-time or a 3-time champion going into the match, maybe it would have been fine. But like, I'm like, yeah, like I literally like fist pumped in the air when Sami Zayn won it. But it's like,
somebody I'd like to answer this for Rick B.
Yeah, don't worry. Just come to me and I'll
anyway, I'll give this match an 8 out of 10. Go ahead, Ginger.
I didn't mean to rush you, Cheetah. I mean,
I was pretty much done. Just
so this was the night the best wrestling match of night 1 by far. Firstly, okay, so just as the match alone, it was a technical masterclass. It was fantastic. It's everything you expect from Sami and Gunther. They're great wrestlers. These two go back years as well. They fought each other in the past. And so when Sami was like El Generico and Gunther was just like something Walter, whatever his name was. So seeing this kind of just as a match on itself, great. The story being told, pointless, completely pointless. Why? Because 4-time Intercontinental champion. All right, it's not his first championship. Number 2, they've shit the bed twice now with Sami Zayn. So last year they shit the bed when he lost to Roman Reigns. He should have been the one to dethrone him.
Yes.
Okay. Cody could have easily gone for the other title. Not a problem. It should have been Sami to dethrone the Chief. All right. And since then, they've just booked him piss poorly. Now, all of a sudden, in the run-up to Mania, Gable has fought Gunther before. They had one of the best matches of last year. Chad Gable is just a phenomenal wrestler. He's just lingering in this stupid comedy act with Otis and Ozawa and Maxine Dupree. And it's really frustrating to see somebody who is basically Kurt Angle levels of excellent. Maybe
because that's your Kurt Angle. That's your workhorse guy.
Kurt Angle, reincarnated.
He is Kurt Angle reincarnated. Okay. Gunther? So there was this whole tournament that took place to face Gunther. And everyone was expecting Chad Gable to win it. All right. They might not have expected him to win the belt at Mania, but they expected him to win the final between him and Sami Zayn. When Sami won, the crowd booed him. Not because the crowd doesn't like Sami Zayn, but because Sami Zayn is better than the Intercontinental Championship.
Mm-hmm.
And so, because of that, the result didn't mean anything. The match was spectacular. It's Gunther's reign has been fantastic. Okay, with Sammy now as a champion, you can put in a lot more people there because they are going to build up Sami Zayn. Gunther now has a clear path to go up against Cody because Roman Reigns' story is going to move on to The Rock now, and there is no other contender right now for Cody Rhodes. Gunther is clearly going to be the one that's going to take that spotlight. This is his next path.
Mhm.
You can see it coming, and so they're going to do good by Gunther because Gunther is main event now. There's nothing you can say. He's the one, no matter what pay-per-view, he is the most consistently good performer
Yep.
out of all the pay-per-views. He
And
made
if I'm-
Sheamus look good. That's
Yep.
how good he is. And Sheamus is so boring. So I've
And
just
if I
looked at
could-
my rating
Yep.
as a match, 8 out of 10 for sure. The 2 points deducted because it should have been Chad Gable, and the storyline didn't need to be there. But the match was
Yep.
excellent.
And if I could interject, your main event needs to be Cody Gunther at SummerSlam. That's going to be your next big money pay-per-view match because you could easily have Cody be like, "I'm gonna be the fighting champion," and then Gunther's like, "All right, I'm gonna start wrecking motherfuckers until I get to you," and that's the easiest story you could tell in the world.
And that's really what it needs to be. They cannot stop on Gunther now. Like, yes, he
Yep.
lost at Mania, he lost the IC title, but
Yep.
that just means he needs to be motivated more. He needs to destroy the Imperium
Yep.
and just go like focused and be like, you know what? Like,
and who wins at SummerSlam?
Gunther. It's his moment.
I would put it. I don't want these long title reigns. I don't want Cody to hold the title till next Mania.
I don't want another John Cena. Yeah, I don't want another John Cena where he held it for a fucking year because that was a nightmare.
And even if you give it to Gunther for a couple months and then bring Cody Rhodes back in, just stop with all of this, like these long title reigns of like a year and I can't, like, I hate it. I get so bored when somebody is, and I get it. Like, we don't want a championship change every pay-per-view, but like
every 3-4 months would be
Mania
good.
Mania to SummerSlam is a good run. It is a 5-month solid run as long as you are a defending champion and you're not like Roman Reigns who shows up once a month. Not even that sometimes.
Yep.
Roman Reigns looks great because he only shows up once a month. So yeah, this 3, like they said, I love it in the main event. I know I'm skipping ahead a little bit when Michael Cole was like, "Oh, this is out of his 1,500 and blah blah blah. This is his 56th title defense or something like that."
31st.
Yeah, 31st title defense in 1,500 days.
And you know the thing that also pisses us off? Okay, remember when they used to not shut the fuck up about that rule of you have to defend it every 30 days? They wouldn't shut the fuck up about that back in the day. Now they could be like, "Oh, it's been a month? Oh, okay. Well, we're fine. Roman will show up when he shows up."
Yeah.
No consequence whatsoever, but let's move on. Or go ahead, Sam.
Penultimate match of the night, Bianca Belair, Naomi, Jade Cargill versus Damage Control. I'll start with this. I'm just going to mark it once again 6 out of 10. It was okay. It was nice. Jade Cargill got her moments. She looks really good. I can't wait to see her go up against Rhea Ripley to really eventually show what she can do. They'll probably leave that one for Mania and keep them apart. Very briefly, I wanted to mention this about Rhea Ripley. She's the only person who can be a face and a heel depending on the scenario, whether she's on her own or whether she's Damage Control or she's facing issues in Australia or whatever. But I don't want to go on about that too much. Regarding this match, 6 out of 10. Let's move on. Jose, what do you want to give it?
It's a 6, pretty good debut for Jade Cargill. Bianca remains undefeated because, they don't shut the fuck up about like, oh, so-and-so is undefeated at WrestleMania. So it's another win, and the babyfaces win. I don't mind it because it's time for Damage Control to kind of break away anyway. They're kind of about due for them to go ahead and say goodbye. So, 6 out of 10.
Yeah, it was. Sorry, I wanted a couple of things. It was kind of telegraphed that they were going to definitely win this match. There was no doubt about it. Also, seeing Bianca Belair use her hair as a whip, that was fucking awesome. Didn't you agree?
It was okay. It's just to kind of bring Jade in, and obviously Jade is struggling. She's always going to be green.
Mm-hmm.
Some people take to wrestling, some people don't. I love Jade. I think she's great, gorgeous as hell as well. She looks fantastic. She needs a lot of training. But the match was fine. I'll give it a 5 out of 10. It's not going to blow anyone away. Bianca again wasted here, but they had to give her something to do, and I thought this was a good outing. 3 powerful black women right there kicking the shit out of the dirty foreign Japanese and New Zealanders. So
And Asuka's and here's something we haven't touched on. Asuka's 0-7 now at WrestleMania. She has never won.
She never wins that Mania.
Nope.
Oh, and by the way, having Naomi and Bianca Belair, who are both phenomenal, they're going to help basically cover the deficiencies of Jade Cargill.
Yeah,
quite well. Cheeto.
She needs a good another year.
Yeah.
This was good. I didn't know many of the people in this match at all. I don't think so. But the match was entertaining. I'm gonna give it a 5. I mean, I can't say that I was really invested, but it was pretty well done for the most part.
Okay.
All right. Final match where we have the future U.S. President of the United States, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, and Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes and Seth freaking Rollins. I'll start with this one if you don't mind. This match, I actually was worried that at some point Dwayne's going to pull a hamstring or tweak a muscle and he's going to be hobbling around. He's 52. He hardly wrestles anymore. Like the match against Eric Rowan was just a rock bottom. His last real match was against John Cena at WrestleMania 29. That was 11 years ago.
Yep.
Regardless, was he going to be in ring shape? And this was a really good tag. It became a tornado tag. Pretty much. I mean,
it needed to be. I think.
Yeah. And the time when they were tagging, I'm thinking to myself, why are you tagging each other? Anything goes, you know what I mean? But regardless, as it progressed, it got better and better. There were some really good spots and really good saves and 1-2 oohs, as Simon Miller would say. It was fantastic. It ended perfectly. It needed to be The Rock pinning Cody Rhodes. That was the best way to end it. To show final boss dominance. He doesn't come across as weak and all of that sort of stuff. I liked it very much. This for me gets I'm stuck between an 8 and a 9. I'll be honest with you. I'll give it a 9. I thought this was Rock's best match, and luckily he had so much talent around him to cover up his problems. But regardless, it was probably his best match since he fought people like CM Punk and Brock Lesnar, 10, 15, 20 years ago. So it was great, and it really made Rock look good too, which was remarkable. I'll give it a 9 out of 10. Go on, James.
I agree. This was a spectacular match. It was in a technical sense not as good as the Sammy Gunther match, but what it was a huge surprise. Now, firstly, let's talk about The Rock, okay? Because what The Rock did was what you want from somebody who's supposed to be a final boss or the boss. He's a massive shareholder in the company. And the best part of the night, and one that absolutely solidifies this as a masterclass, is when the refs start counting out.
You're fucking fired if you count them out.
You want to keep your job? You better stop fucking counting out. I'm the boss here. I don't fuck around. You better stop counting. Yep. And the ref's like, come on, man, just trying to do my job. I'll fucking fire you, kind of thing.
Yep.
And this kind of stuff, and the way he kept changing the rules and moving the goalposts, I was like, this is better than like the Vince era stuff, and he's only done it in one night.
Yep.
But he knows what he's doing, and that's what made this great. The match itself, slow burner, but to start off with, but then it just took momentum and was, again, I think it's gonna be up there again, one of like the great, most memorable main events for me. And I agree with Zam. The Rock pinning Cody is the right result, because it's great storytelling to say, your ego's bruised, you're going into the second night against the tribal chief, you already got a loss under your belt, and the boss and The Rock solidified himself as a boss, and he needs to just run with it and go crazy. So again, although surprisingly, the Gunther match was better, I'm still going to give this one a 9 out of 10 because of the story it told.
Yeah.
And the right result and all of that.
Yeah, and for me, I'm not going to lie, and I think you guys won't either. We had doubts about The Rock. I'm not going to be one to sugarcoat it. I thought he was going to, tear a hamstring or tear a pectoral because he's done it in the past. But what I like that they did with The Rock is that they kind of limited him to like outside activity. He wasn't really in the ring a lot. They kept it mostly on the outside. And The Rock with the, being the final boss, I cannot wait to see him come back and basically be taking on that role and be like, all right, here's the deal, Cody. I pinned your ass at WrestleMania. I get to interject myself into a title match because I fucking can. And I can't wait until they do that because I think they're going to go down that road. But for a match, I thought it was great because it told multiple stories. It told the story of Seth having to be Cody's shield, Seth basically sacrificing his ass off to try to keep Cody, from having to go against the bloodline on night 2. Seth is the MVP of this entire match, honestly, if you ask me, because he sold his ass off. Rock pinning Cody had to be the correct call. It couldn't have gone any other way. I thought this was great. It's easily a 9 out of 10 for me.
Keith?
Yeah, I mean, this was great. I am supremely surprised that how well The Rock did. I would have put money that The Rock would have botched almost all the stuff just because he's not been wrestling in 11 years.
I thought he would have got hurt 5 minutes in. That was my first thought. I was like, is he going to get hurt 5 minutes in?
He's done a lot of cardio work.
Yeah.
He did a lot of cardio work, a lot of extra training here because he wanted this to mean something. He didn't want to be gassed like he was against Cena.
He took bumps as well, by the way. Let's not forget that he took a variety of table bumps.
He did.
He took bumps as well, which is good.
Yeah, I mean, I was very surprised at the bumps he was. That was going to be one of my other points. Is the bumps he was taking was, he took a crossroads, which I mean is not a super hard move, but it's just like that you can tear something doing the crossroads on somebody, and didn't he?
He took a pedigree in.
Yeah, I mean, he took tons of moves.
Yeah, he took lots of moves. Yeah,
I do agree with you. The whole thing where The Rock was like, if you start counting, I'm gonna fire you. If he's, and I agree with that. I disagree with D. Jose. I don't want The Rock to interject himself into the world title scene or the WWE title scene. I don't want him to do that. I don't mind him playing all the boss games where he's like, you will face Roman Reigns.
Yeah, we'll make Cody overcome the odds. Like that's what I would rather have. I'd rather have Rock come out and be like, hold on a minute, player. If you think this is going to be an easy path for you, it won't be. That's what I'd rather see Rock do.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it.
I did want to ask you guys a question. Do you think that this tag match should have been at Elimination Chamber, or do you think it lent itself better at Mania Night 1?
It lent itself better at Mania Night 1.
Yeah, they hadn't told the whole story by Elimination Chamber.
Yep.
There was more stuff that got done within the last month.
Okay, I just was curious because I didn't know. I wasn't watching.
Also, this really made both nights as a unit
mean something.
Yeah. Because since they've been doing the 2-night thing, one night's one night, the other night's the other night, they never really felt connected. This time it felt proper connected, not just for Rock and for Cody, but for Seth Rollins as well, which we're going to get into next. What was your mark, Cheetah?
8 out of 10. I think that there was a lot of good in this match, and I was very surprised at how good this was. And Seth and Cody did a great job too. I mean, they did it. And I'm sorry, Roman Reigns is still boring. There was nothing in this match with Roman Reigns that made me think that he was anything special. But I feel like honestly, The Rock carried this match more than Roman did.
Gratuitous plug. Congratulations, Cheetah, on winning Debatamania 2. You can check that now on the replay.
That's right.
All right. Okay,
goddamn
so overall, what do you want to give night 1 just as out of 10? Let's start with you, Cheeto.
I'll give it a 7. I thought it was very good. The anticipation was there. The Gunther match was great, and the main event tag match was great. I can't give it I want to say that the Rhea Ripley match is probably good, only because Rhea Ripley is excellent, but I haven't seen that match. So, but I'm leaning towards a 7.
Ginge.
As great as the Gunther match was and the main event was, I cannot give this anything more than a 5 out of 10 because all the other stuff let it down. Yeah.
Jose?
Yeah, about 5 out of 10. It's middle of the road. It's like you'll go back to watch the Gunther match and the main event, but that's about it. You won't go out of your way to watch night 1 more than those 2 matches.
I'm going to be the mark and give it a 9 out of 10. I loved it, and I loved it so much that I was really looking forward to night 2. Yeah,
Okay.
I loved it. I had a look. I watched other WrestleManias. I've watched other WrestleManias and I've not enjoyed myself, and it's just wrestling pay-per-views in general. Just not enjoyed myself as much as this. I thought this was really good, and I loved it. Like I thought every match, regardless of regardless of how you would put them in the card, whether they belong in the card, the execution of those matches were done really well. So 9 out of 10 for me. All right, on to night 2. Seth Freaking Rollins versus Drew McIntyre.
Can I take this one first?
Yes, please.
It did what it needed to do. I know people are going to complain, oh, they use way too many finishers. It didn't need to be a 20-minute, 5-star classic with arm drags and all that bullshit. Drew needed to go out there and go whip some ass, and he did. Both of these guys whipped each other's asses. Seth told a story of like, oh, okay, I'm fucking hurt. My back hurt. My leg hurts. And McIntyre got his moment, so I'm going to go ahead and give that one easily like a 7 out of 10. I thought it was great for what it was.
Okay, I'll go with you last, Ginger. Cheeto, you
all right?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I thought this was an okay match. I don't think that this was a clinic. And I agree with D Jose that it was finisher after finisher after finisher.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I also agree with the fact that it told the story that it needed to. Seth was hurt, and honest and truly, this made Drew look strong. And even though what happened, I don't know if we're separating what happened afterward or not.
Oh, we could add that in, but
yeah, add it. It's all part of it. It's all
okay. Well,
Damian Priest.
I'll go next, Cheeto. Go ahead.
Damian Priest coming in. I mean, like if we're counting the Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins, and then Damian Priest thing, all is one thing. That elevated it to an 8 out of 10 for me, because I swear to God that when he cashed in his Money in the Bank, I was like, that is perfect, because Seth now can go and heal up. Now we've already got a rivalry established between McIntyre and Priest, and then CM Punk is still waiting in the wins for the world title. I love it. I think it was a great move, and I think it was great for McIntyre to eat crow, because he's been talking all this shit for all these
I'm
weeks.
going to give my moment. You did, but you didn't, though. I'm going to go ahead and give it an 8 out of 10 if we're ranking everything together in that one match entirely. And also, we have to talk about Samantha Irvin, the ring announcer. Her passion is second to none. Like, she nearly teared up as she announced that Damian Priest is cashing in the contract. She was like, Damian Priest is cashing in the contract! You could hear her voice go up. And the thing that she's so cool with is she doesn't want to know what's going to happen. She is like us. Like, we don't know what's going to happen. So she knows as we know, and that's what made the cash-in so much cooler. So it's easily an 8 out of 10 for me.
And just one last thing I want to add is I'm so happy that they did not give CM Punk like an entrance. Like him coming down to the ring and entrance. I'm glad they just stuck him at the desk and said,
they
gave him
the entrance on the pre-show, but on the pre-show.
On the pre-show.
Well, nobody cares about the pre-show. This is Mania, baby.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, I loved it. I think Drew McIntyre doesn't get enough credit for being one of the best big men in wrestling.
He's so good.
Probably the best big man since Taker.
100%.
Seriously, the guy is so phenomenally good, and
I've been saying that since 2010.
Yeah, since he showed up. Yep.
This was he needed the win. He got his moment. He got his moment take away. I am gonna, after we talk about the card, I want to talk about Money in the Bank briefcase a little bit. I have a different opinion of how I want to take it in the future after this, but overall, it was weird, having that heel versus heel moment with him and Priest. But I like it. I like shit like that. At the same time, it's not always about face versus face. It can be heel versus heel. Yeah, and so I appreciated that. I give it an 8 out of 10. It was good stuff.
Ginger.
It took a lot of power moves to take Seth down. I would have liked maybe a couple more finishes on Drew McIntyre instead of just the one finisher on Priest. I think it deserved that. I think for Drew, but
I think it would have lost momentum if he had to do 4 or 5 finishers.
Maybe one more after the
2 finishers. No. It needed to be a one and done choke slam, and you're out. Get out.
Smacked with an arm body. Be smacked with a briefcase. It just needs a choke slam and done.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They would have lost the momentum. Ginger, make us wet, baby.
Oh, right. So, okay. So, this was like oh my God. Where do you start with this? So, match The entrances were spectacularly WrestleMania-esque. Like, what the fuck was Seth Rollins' entrance?
That was a
I
Vince
don't know what
entrance
that
if I
was.
ever saw it. That was a Vince McMahon type entrance right there. I'm like, Vince
No.
McMahon would come up with this kind of shit.
No,
I
I
think
think
he would.
I think he's trying to channel like a more flamboyant HBK. I every time I see Seth Rollins, I
Yeah.
always think like
Yeah.
if Shawn Michaels had the budget that they have now,
Yeah.
I think Shawn Michaels would have done like shit
Yeah.
as big as this.
Yeah.
Rollins is,
yeah.
is this generation's HBK without a doubt.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. No doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry,
with
James.
none of the charisma. Anyway,
Oh.
Burn.
yeah, no, I hate Seth Rollins.
Wow.
Anyway, the entrances were spectacular. The match was brilliant. These are the kind of matches that I love. The ones that are just, they don't need this slow, stupid pace. They were a brawl. They were just beating the shit out of each other. A couple of finishes here. You kick outs. You tell a great story. You make your champion look really good in defeat. And the match alone was great. Drew breaking off, going kissing his wife, taking a selfie.
Oh, yeah, they broke kayfabe.
Waiting.
Yeah, they broke kayfabe because Seth had an out-of-character moment. He looked at McIntyre and he pointed at him. He was like, you fucking deserve it, man. This is your moment.
Yeah, that
You
was
got
after
it.
when the match was
Yep.
over. Yeah, that's
Yep.
right. That's right. So they had that little moment. So, yeah, the match itself, I absolutely loved. And then when the match was over, firstly, the emotion on Drew McIntyre's face, because the guy carried a company during COVID. So for him to win a title in front of a crowd, I thought it was what he's deserved. He's been doing the best work of his career the last few months, especially since the Rumble, where he injured CM Punk, and since then he's been healing it up on social media. He got a T-shirt printed of that famous Flash meme by the grave, and it's CM Punk's right arm and all this, or tricep.
Did you
He's
guys see?
engraved on the grave, and he's posing on it. And it's just
Did you guys see CM Punk's Instagram today? If you haven't, you need to get over there or see his Twitter because he did the same thing. He freaking put Drew McIntyre's face on a grave and played a Scottish song over it. And I was like,
I'll go and check that out.
Yeah.
But so when the match finishes and he goes over to CM Punk and does what he does with Punk, I thought this was brilliant. And here's where we just think he's gonna taunt him. When he gets better, they're gonna have a fight. He's just gonna walk away. But then Punk takes his leg away and does the armband, smacks him on the head, beats him down. I thought, this is fucking great. You have robbed him of his moment. We might get heel Punk. We might not. We might get tweener Punk. But all I know is this is sowing the great seed. And then they just hit you with Damian Priest coming out. And that was it. I practically came all over the place. He comes out, does the deed, gets the thing. And it's the single greatest opening match to a WrestleMania ever. And I fucking, this is the kind of shit where we got when Seth Rollins kind of came in and cashed in on Lesnar and Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan kind of won. This is up there with that. Yeah. Because what this does is it plants more seeds. And I know for a fact that probably Priest is going to lose at Clash of the Castle.
It won't be long. Yep.
So they'll give Drew his moment in Scotland like they should have done in Cardiff. Okay, because they robbed him of that. And this is why I really hated Roman Reigns' reign as a title, because they've robbed two people of fantastic moments. And if they hadn't ended it tonight, it would have been game over. They would have shit the bed with everything. Yeah. But this plants a lot of seeds. I hope they don't, after Priest loses it at Clash of the Castle in July, I hope they don't relegate him.
Don't relegate him.
They will. They'll relegate him. But they did a great job. I can't give this anything less than a 10 out of 10 for me. It was spectacular.
Fair.
It's everything I love in wrestling.
I would go so far as to say, honestly, my favorite cash in of all time.
Yeah.
I really would. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that and Seth Rollins are my two favorite cash ins.
Yep.
Okay. On to the next match, which is Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits versus the Final Testament.
I got one note. The fucking table botch. Table said, that doesn't work for me, brother. And that's the highlight of the match. Let's move the fuck on. Because, for those that need context, The Profits put Carrion on the table, and the middle of the table fucking broke immediately upon impact when they put him on the table. That is
I
the
saw
highlight
it.
of the whole match for me.
But it wasn't that
Yep.
big. He's got another table here. Fair enough.
It was hilarious. It was hilarious.
I'm going to start with this one. Maybe
Yep.
give you guys more meat on these bones to jump into, because
Okay.
Snoop Dogg made this fucking match for me.
No.
Yeah.
I hated Snoop Dogg on commentary.
Snoop Dogg for me, yeah, he's become like he's become gold now. Like, he's just absolutely great when he does a commercial for Just Eat. That music he's doing is the best rap music you're going to hear in today's world, because everything else is mumble, And when he's on the mic and stuff like that, he's just so endearing. I love the guy. I really do love the guy. He's fantastic. Been listening to his music for 30 years.
He makes me want to stab my eyes out when he's on commentary, or even.
He had some moments. Bubba Ray Dudley as well as the special guest referee was a nice touch.
Yep.
And had some really cool moments there as well. So it was a bit of a clusterfuck, I have to admit.
Waste of Bobby Lashley is what this was.
Look, I sometimes think street fights are better as one-on-one matches, or maybe a tag match or something like. But when you have 6 people in it, it's just,
street fights need to happen in the street.
And that too.
Yeah, for real.
In the parking lot brawls. Like,
there should be another stipulation, some sort of, maybe another type of ladder match. Yeah, but it had other elements to it that saved it. If it wasn't for me, if it wasn't for Snoop and it wasn't for Bubba, this probably would have been bland and generic. It was to a degree, but those guys made it.
It really was.
They added a bit of stardust and garnish, so it gets a 6 out of 10 for me. Cheeto, I'll let you go next.
6 out of 10. Oh my God.
I said at the beginning that not one match will get below a 6.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
No discrimination. I know I'm the only brown guy here, but none of that.
Wait, okay, hold on a second. What D Jose, do you take umbrage with that? I mean, Zam's so used to being the only brown guy that he actually excludes the other brown guy that is on the stream.
I exclude the biracial guy.
Okay. If this doesn't get nominated for a Golden Glasses Award, I'm going to be pissed. We got to put that in there.
Most racist comment.
All of a sudden, because I have an opinion and different from yours, I have to get kicked out the fucking room. Go fuck yourselves. You know what I mean? You know what? Fuck you. I'll kick you out the room. You know what I mean? Dickhead.
Okay.
You know I mean?
But
Put yourself back in. I'm putting you back in.
But before we lose track, Cheeto was talking. Go ahead, Cheeto.
2. I don't even want to waste time on it. 2. Let's do it.
Yeah, for me, it was all right. It was nothing memorable. Snoop on commentary. I like Snoop. I'm a fan of Snoop. For me, the table box made it. The table said that doesn't work for me, brother. I popped for that. But yeah, I don't care about this feud at all. So yeah, it's a 2 for me.
Oh, I know, Rick B. I know.
Yep. Rick B, if you're brown and white on the inside, you might have an infection. You need to
get yourself checked.
No, Snoop on commentary was fucking ridiculous, but I loved it. I did love it, because I'm sorry to say I cannot stand Pat McAfee. He sucked.
Yeah, I hate
him. He was one of the worst things of the whole of WrestleMania. His commentary does my nut in. And so Snoop coming in it was a breath of fresh air, but it was the only memorable thing in that match. Bubba Ray is a piece of shit as a person, and really, he's defended a lot of shitty people's actions, especially when it comes to sexual assault and all that kind of stuff.
Fair enough.
And so seeing him back in kind of soured it as well. So I'll give it a 1 out of 10 for Snoop, and that's it.
Yeah. But no one's going to give any love to the table watch? Come on now, man.
I mean, that was funny, but I mean,
the table for collapsing.
Well, they had the ladder botch the previous night, and they just changed the ladder.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
with Pat McAfee, dude. I don't understand Pat McAfee either. I think it's like they tell Pat McAfee, okay, go be like you, but go be you amped up times 10. Tone that shit down, dude. You don't need to be so hyped all the time.
I can't stand it.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay. On to the next match, and I believe it is LA Knight versus AJ Styles.
Oh
So,
man, this was my
look,
heart hurt watching this.
look,
What
look,
have they
look,
done to
look.
my baby boy?
Look, I actually thought this was one of probably AJ Styles' best matches within the WWE because I've been complaining about it. Boss Man said, "Oh, he doesn't know how to do WWE style." The guy's been in the company for almost 10 years already. He should know how to do the WWE style by now. He's a professional fucking wrestler. But this was probably, in my opinion, his best match, best result. But unfortunately, you know, as I've been following a little bit of the WWE when it came to this particular feud, it also seemed like the most WrestleMania like feud of all the big stars. It's like, are they just made to hate each other for the sake of it?
Yeah, it's like, okay, you guys go fight. Go fight.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I never really understood their feud too much, but overall, what mattered the most was in the ring. They gave a good performance. Really happy to see Styles have a decent match in the WWE for once. And yeah, I give it a 7 out of 10. Cheat, I'll go.
What the?
I'll give you. I'll let you go next.
What have they done to my boy? You massacred my boy.
Go on, Cheats.
Oh, me? Okay. I've not watched an AJ Styles match since probably the end of his tenure in TNA. So I'm not going to lie. So I haven't watched his Taker match. I haven't watched his matches with Roman Reigns or anything like that. I haven't even watched any of his WWE title matches when he was champion a while back. I was very interested to see this match, and I was actually paying very much attention, and just this match was bland, boring bullcrap, even by WWE standards. I'm sorry. Like this match was so, and I'm not even holding it to the phenomenal one standard at this point. I'm just saying that this was the blandest of bland matches that they were just trying to sell.
Slim Jim product. That's another thing I was going to talk about, but go ahead because I got a rant on something.
So just because they are killing my baby boy AJ, I'm giving this one like a 4 out of 10. I'm sorry, LA Knight he has not impressed me anytime I've seen him wrestle, and he seems like he is just going to be a generic another John Cena.
Yeah,
just more generic. He's like a mixture of Hollywood Rock and John Cena almost. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So he doesn't impress me. AJ just unfortunately, and I get it. He's getting older, so I get it. You have to slow down. But Shawn Michaels got older, and he still had good matches that were entertaining and storytelling. But with AJ in this, it really felt like he was just phoning it in at this point. It really
cut that hair.
I'm there for the check.
Hair,
I'm there for the check. Yeah.
Seriously, cut that hair.
Cut the hair.
Okay. Jose, I'm gonna make you go last because I know you're bursting at the seams, but let you go next.
So the one thing is with AJ Styles, Cheeto, I know you expected more, but he's literally now in the last throes of his career. He's looking to retire soon. So there's no point in elevating him. His job now is to put over other people. With regards to LA Knight, they've absolutely, again, another person they shit the bed with and derailed his momentum. He was literally the number one merch seller in the company for a couple of months. He was hotter than hot could be, and they just threw him to the one side. This is when Vince was still around, and Vince was like, no, this isn't my guy. No, fuck this. And they just kept burying him, and here he is against AJ Styles. And this match was fucking pointless. Like, AJ Styles comes all the way to Australia to fuck over LA Knight in the Elimination Chamber. Absolutely daft as bollocks. The match itself was good. Like, don't get me wrong, it was a good match. And, you know, LA Knight, or Eli Drake, as I like to call him, I loved him in TNA. He was awesome. You know, I'll give the match a 7 out of 10, but this really was like just a commercial for fucking Slim Jim, and it was corny, and it was like just endemic of one of the elements that's starting to piss me off about this new era. It's just one giant commercial for other products. There's a lot of product placement. It makes a Sony film look fucking tame by comparison. So, but just in terms of the match, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. For everything else, bleh. Jose.
There, Jose.
The fucking product placement. God, can we stop with this already? I know we won't. I know it won't fucking happen, but this match is brought to you by Dude Wipes. This match is brought to you by Snoop Dogg's Gin and Juice. This match is brought to you by Slim Jims. Stop fucking plastering everything all over the canvas and the apron and the fucking barricade. I don't want to see that shit. It takes it out of it for me.
But here's the thing though, and I don't mean to interrupt Jose, but I was thinking about this over this weekend. This is probably the price we're going to pay to get rid of Vince, because somebody bigger had to come along and take over WWE, and it wasn't going to be Triple H. Like he's going to be running things, but no, like somebody had to buy the company and get rid of Vince, and so this is the price we pay. So would we rather have Vince or would we rather have product placement?
Yeah,
I honestly would rather deal with product placement than Vince McMahon at this point.
Yeah. Okay, but anyway, but for what it was with AJ Styles and LA Knight, I got to be honest, both guys are in their 40s, if I want to say right. It just felt like, let's just get these guys on the card and have them fight it out. That's what this felt like to me. It was okay. I do want AJ to have that one great last run, one great last match before he retires, and I hope that he gets it soon, but this just didn't do it for me. This is honestly your average match. It's about a 5 out of 10.
Here we go. I hated the advert. So distracting. See, dude, what made me think of smelly balls and wiping shit out of you. You're damn right, Rick. Unfortunately, it's
the part. Like Cheeto said, I gotta agree. I would rather we get rid of Vince. Yeah,
no problem. All right. The next match was the triple threat: Logan Paul versus Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens. I knew this was going to be a good match. If you don't mind me starting off by talking about this particular one, it was great, and this was one of the. I think there was only two title that stayed on the champion.
Yeah,
and this was just,
two people retained. Yeah,
and in my opinion, this Randy Orton and Kevin Owens doesn't need the US belt. It belongs on Logan Paul, but Logan Paul, as good as he is, needs to be doing more shows. He can't be just doing pay-per-views. He needs to do the odd SmackDown match and stuff like that. I don't care how busy his schedule is. If you're going to be in the WWE and you're going to be holding a belt, you need to do a lot more matches, in my opinion. And so, regardless, great match. It was a great match. And what do you expect? I mean, I love Kevin Owens. I think Randy Orton doesn't get his dues as much. I think he's improved with age, if anything. And I think people are starting to show the appreciation for Randy Orton that they probably didn't once did. And Logan Paul is just, I mean, the word phenomenal. I mean, he has to be taken from AJ Styles and given to Logan Paul, because the guy, as you said, Ginger, is a duck to water. This match gets an 8 out of 10. It was great win. And also, I hate that I Show Speed. I despise him. I despise that guy.
I don't even know who the fuck that is.
He's just a dickhead. He's done some stupid things on YouTube. You know, he's a YouTuber, really annoying one. But I really hoped that he got hurt quite legitimately by that RKO. You know what I mean? As a guy who's not a wrestler, who just who took a bump on the table as well. Yeah, I hope it hurt him. I hope it hurt him really good. I enjoyed that. I'll go with you, Ginge.
So I didn't watch all of this match because I refuse to ignore it. I just fucking Logan Paul, just scummy human being, and to have I Show Speed on there summed it up perfectly, because he's just another scummy human being. Just really, like, he got famous by being absolutely the worst kind of person you can be online. Just disgusting, abusive, racist, sexist as fuck, and all this kind of shit. Okay, he's calmed down as he's gotten older, but it's still, he should never have been elevated to where he was. So seeing him take an RKO was the fucking best thing ever. I loved it. I could watch that over and over again.
No padding either, by the way. He got rid of his suit and all that. He took it bare.
No padding. Took it straight down. Deserved every fucking bit of it. That being said, like I said, I can't stand Logan Paul. Yes, he's fucking taken to wrestling great. I cannot stand Kevin Owens at all. I've never liked him.
Really?
The bloated whinge bag, and it's just something about Randy Orton bores the shit out of me, but in his later years, he has become hilarious. Okay, the whole bit when they get on the golf cart and just riding, like Kevin Owens,
Yeah, let's go, motherfucker. Yeah, come on.
I thought that was great. Like when you just at that age where you don't give a fuck, it's making me like Randy Orton, the person, but he's still a boring wrestler. And so I'm not going to I'm not going to rate this match because it's not fair because I didn't watch all of it and I didn't care about it. So, yeah.
All right. How about rating our show Speed RKO?
10 out of 10.
Lovely. All right, Jose.
I'm gonna go ahead and give the RKO an 8 out of 10 because I wish the table would have fucking broke and then I wish he would have kicked him in the head afterwards. That's what I wanted. But for a match, it was a good match. I mean, I know people are gonna overrate the fuck out of it and be like, it had all these great matches and moves. This just felt okay to me. It didn't really feel like it was one of those where it was like, oh my god, this is amazing. I'm like, it felt like your standard Monday Night Raw triple threat match, and Logan going over, okay, cool. But you gotta show the fuck up. You can't just come and work every pay-per-view and not wrestle on a SmackDown. You're the fucking U.S. champion. Show up to work to fight. Show up to work to wrestle. Make me give a fuck, but I don't. So that's the problem. Yeah.
And the Intercontinental Championship versus the U.S. title, which has just been taking a shit. It took me. I forgot that Logan Paul was a U.S. champ.
Yeah,
and not just that, but Paul does show up on SmackDown to cut a promo. But not actually. But have a match. Have a match too, mate. You can do that. Shit. Like we squash somebody. I don't know, but anyway, Cheeto.
I gotta give my rating though. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 6. It was just okay. Wasn't all that great. Just an average match.
Randy Orton and Kevin Owens made this match for me. I do like Kevin Owens. I do like Randy Orton to an extent. I can see where people find him boring. Like I can see that, but he keeps me interested every now and just because the greatest moment though is like when Randy Orton tried to sneak an RKO on Kevin Owens and
he looked at him like motherfucker.
And then Randy Orton's look on his face is like, I got caught. I got caught. This match was very entertaining. I'm not going to say that it was a clinic. I'm not going to say that it was like super like an awesome match, but watching them just team up on Logan Paul, like, for like 10 minutes and just seriously just destroying him just made my day. And Logan Paul, as I said, Logan Paul didn't do a lot in this match. I really felt like he didn't do much besides get beat up and then win the match. So I really felt like Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. The other problem I had with this match is that the U.S. title is so far below Kevin Owens and Randy Orton that it just feels it's so I would have honestly have respected them more if they said this is a non-title match because there's no point.
Yeah, the title's a prop now. It's just there for the sake of being there.
Yeah, because Randy Orton doesn't need the U.S. title. Kevin Owens doesn't need the U.S. title.
Yeah, I think it does a disservice to the title
because look who the champion is.
Yeah,
that does a disservice to the title.
Yeah,
and look at how the title's portrayed too. That's another fucking problem.
Yeah, like who cares about the title?
Mm-hmm.
And so, what are you giving it?
As I said, for sheer entertainment value, I'm giving it a 7. It was actually pretty entertaining.
Okay. And let's not forget regarding Randy Orton now with his RKOs out of nowhere and ways of variously doing it. It's added something to his character these last few years as well, which is why I don't mind him. Anyway, on to the penultimate match of the night, the one match that kind of surprised me a little bit. I'll talk about this a little bit later myself, but I'll start with you, Cheeto. Io Sky versus Bayley.
I thought this was good. I don't know Bayley or Io Sky very well, so I thought it was an entertaining match. I'll give it a 6. I don't know. I missed parts of the match because I went to pee. So I mean, like,
it's the piss break match, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I was trying to hold it because I really wanted to see this match, but then I didn't want to get stuck watching the Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes match, and having to pee the whole time. So
yeah.
Okay, I'll go next. This match surprised me. I did enjoy it. It's one of those matches that as it goes along, it gets better and better and better. And that this was definitely those matches. I did think Bayley was going to win. I was pretty sure on that. And to see Io Sky finally and watch a singles match with her in this sort of capacity, like a pay-per-view, not like a SmackDown or anything like that, but a proper pay-per-view capacity, really showed me how good this particular female wrestler is. She was phenomenal, and I hope to see more of her in the future. Great stuff, great performance. That when she kicked out of that when she reversed that move, that was it Rose Garden, what the hell it's called? You know, when she
Yeah.
bows their head
And she
then
flipped through it.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic! I marked
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, I saw
That
that.
was good stuff. Yeah. I'm gonna give this an 8 out of 10. It surprised me how good it was, and I liked it a lot. It was a good match. 8 out of 10. Jose.
Yeah, it's an 8 out of 10, and the story here is pretty simple. You know, I created a faction. My faction, you know, turned on me, but I found out about it. So now I'm going to come and take your fucking belt. And that's pretty much what the story was told. Bailey is the last of the 4 horsewomen to finally get her moment at a WrestleMania. So they're going to add that in the stats. And
Who are the 4 horsewomen? Like what?
Charlotte, Becky, Sasha, and Bailey.
Oh, is
Going
that a
back to
thing or is that
NXT.
just something they're called?
That's the thing.
Oh, okay.
It goes way back to like the NXT days from 10 years ago.
Oh,
so
okay.
that's why I brought that up. But yeah, it's an 8 out of 10. I know they're gonna rematch the fuck out of this, and maybe they'll add a stip. But Bailey got her moment. The job was done. Props to both. It was a great match for me.
James.
Yeah, this was a fantastic match. I absolutely loved it. Once it got going, it was just brilliant. I expected nothing less from Bailey and Io Sky. They're both just great wrestlers. In fact, you know, like Kairi Say as well and Asuka, they're all great wrestlers in that faction as well. But Bailey and Io delivered, and I'm glad it did because it really needed it. Because as good as the Rhea match was, it wasn't memorable. Same with like the 6 women tag match, but this is a memorable match. It's a great moment for Bailey. She gets a WrestleMania moment. It's well deserved. I'm going to give this one an 8 out of 10.
All right, and now we're on to the final match of the evening, the main event of the evening, and that is Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship under Bloodline rules. Who would like to start off with this?
Me.
Okay. James, please.
Okay, so all right. So in terms of the entrances, you know, Roman Reigns one was just pretty much a standard entrance, wasn't it? Or did he have the orchestra?
He had the orchestra.
And the
He had
band.
the orchestra, yeah, and all of that. But in terms of that, you know,
It felt standard otherwise, though. Yeah.
Yeah, Cody Rhodes as well. Just that mask, and we're going to see.
That looked like freaking Skeletor.
That
Halloween USA.
It was an homage to Triple H.
Yeah, it was an homage to Triple H. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's Triple H.
Triple H.
It was an homage to that, and we saw Brandy Rhodes, who still looks fucking incredible.
Yes,
remember they ended racism in the world.
Yeah, that's right. He ended racism. Yep. It was over.
Yep.
Which that was the one thing I forgot to say about the Bobby Lashley match. They beat him like they fucking beat Rodney King at one point.
They did. Yeah.
Christ, what is going on?
Yeah.
But anyway, the match itself was great. I absolutely loved it. Just that, you know, with Roman Reigns, a lot of the times you'll get a really slow build with a good kind of finish. This one was just great through and through. It was a good brawl. And then we had the clusterfuck at the end, which was just great. But there was a lot of symbolism there because it was the passing of eras. Mm-hmm. You know, you had like John Cena's era. You had The Rock's era.
Yeah, John Cena's hair receding era.
Yeah, you had the Undertaker's era, which was all the eras. He's been there since the Hogan era. He's been there since New Generation, the
1990, man.
Yep.
Yeah, all of that. He's been there throughout it. And you had, of course, Seth Rollins, who was the PG era kind of thing. So it was that kind of passing down the line to introduce you to Cody Rhodes, the champion, the new era, the kind of Renaissance era. And the symbolism behind that, I thought, was 10 out of 10. So a lot of people might look like a clusterfuck. A lot of people were expecting Stone Cold Steve Austin instead of The Undertaker. I didn't. I preferred it that it was The Undertaker because when they went lights out.
And the story makes sense because Taker and Roman worked. So, yeah, it works.
Yeah, and it makes sense because also, again, we're talking passing of eras here. It made sense to have The Undertaker rather than it did to have Stone Cold, who you already got The Rock, who was from that era.
Yep.
So I absolutely loved it. Obviously, the result everyone expected. It was great. Lord of the Rings ending, though. Fuck me, it took forever afterwards. But it was great. I'm going to give this one a 10 out of 10. I had a great time. So, yeah.
One of the most
memorable main events ever, for sure.
I'll take it. Okay, so I know like the critics are gonna like overanalyze every fucking thing about this match. Suspend your disbelief. That's what wrestling's all about. You can't go into it thinking like, oh my god, this is overbooked. It was supposed to be overbooked. Did you really fucking think it was gonna be a one-on-one straight up match? I didn't. Yeah, it was a great fucking match. I mean, honestly, this will go down as Roman's greatest hour, I believe. Give Roman his flowers now. Yeah, I know people are going to say Roman is boring, and you guys aren't wrong about that. Yeah, the title reign and the long 1,316 days fucked over some people. But the point is, we're never going to have a run like that again. I don't think we will ever see anyone hold it for 1,000 days.
Please, God, no.
Yeah. But you got to give Roman and Cody and whatnot their flowers now. That's how I see it. What's up, man? Yeah. But, this was a great match, 10 out of 10. I like the fact that you had the Usos spear each other off the stage. It almost makes up for their shitty WrestleMania
I forgot
match.
about them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Forgettable,
Usos,
just like their match.
Yeah, you had the Usos spear each other off the stage. Solo came out, tried to fuck shit up. Cena with his balding hairline. Cena join Keeps. Get yourself a fucking haircut, you hippie.
Yeah.
And then The Undertaker coming out to chokeslam The Rock, and The Rock selling it like death. I thought it was fucking great. And then Taker running backstage on the clip on the social media was fucking great.
That was great.
Yeah, it was just fantastic. And then what I love seeing the reactions afterwards. Like fans are breaking down and fucking throwing chairs and shit because they wanted Roman to win. It didn't happen. But, I'm going to go ahead and give this a 10 out of 10. I thought it was great. And then the reason why they did the celebration the way they did, it was a callback to WrestleMania 10. That's why they had all the baby faces out there, because they wanted to replicate that and cement Cody as the next guy. So,
I see.
Yep.
Okay, I'll go next. What I heard regarding Steve Austin is that he didn't want to come back to do this because he had his moment in WrestleMania 38.
Yeah, with Kevin Owens. Which was
Kevin
actually
Owens,
a good match.
And like for me, like the way things were panning out, because once John Cena, when Solo Sikoa came out, I thought to myself, okay, John Cena's got to come out at any moment now. Like he hasn't been seen in this entire thing, and at one point after a couple of Umaga Famis, I thought to myself, maybe John Cena isn't going to turn up because he should have turned up by now. But then, lo and behold, he turned up, and then the moment he turned up, I knew The Rock was going to show up because that looking the way he does, he looks like a video game final boss, and I just genuinely thought, okay, Austin has to show up. How can he not show up? But it was a good substitute in The Undertaker. I would have liked it maybe not look like he was going for a jog. You know what I mean? In his attire, but in a way, it kind of. Because The Undertaker showed up in the Hall of Fame, it's like, all right, he's already there, and we can throw him in there, you know what I mean, and stuff like that.
He's Mark Calloway now. Like that.
Yeah, he's not The Undertaker anymore. The Undertaker died. Yeah.
Well, that moment, he was The Undertaker, but we had the Doom and all of that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Why the fuck is he in there even? You know what I mean? Like, his rivalry with Rock is not the same as Stone Cold, which is why I would have preferred Stone Cold in there, because of their rivalry.
But from a bloodline sense, it makes all the sense in the world to have The Undertaker be that guy, because The Undertaker has literally fought the bloodline. He's fought Yokozuna. He's fought Umaga.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
And also, Roman Reigns is only one of two people that's beaten Undertaker at WrestleMania. It was Brock and Roman Reigns.
Brock and Roman. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, WrestleMania. No, it's Brock,
WrestleMania.
Yeah, WrestleMania. Yeah.
You said Brock. I thought you said Brock.
Okay, Brock Lesnar ended the streak, and then a couple years later, I believe Roman Reigns beat him too, right before he started this epic tribal chief run or whatever.
Yeah, all of these guys doing their run-ins and stuff like that almost made you forget there was a match going on. You know,
it really did. It felt like the Monday Night Raw before a Royal Rumble.
It did too. Yeah.
And sorry, apologize.
Take your meds.
Regardless, I did enjoy this. I was expecting at some point all of this craziness to happen at some point. it didn't feel no like a bloodline rule enough. There wasn't enough hardcore action in this match. They were wrestling quite a lot without any tables and chairs and stuff like that. I think one table was involved at one point, but regardless, I give it a 9 out of 10. I thought it was phenomenal. I did enjoy it very much. I marked out on a few bits here and there. I loved it, and what a great way to end the show with Cody winning. Of course, Cody needed to win that fucking belt, the relief. And Jose, you said we'll never see a title run like that again.
No, we won't.
I'll say I'm personally going to say never, because it might not be now, but I can maybe 10 years down the line we might get something similar. You know, where somebody might have it for about 3 or 4 years. Who knows? Maybe that could be Austin Theory. Who knows? You know, but that might happen. You know, not for another decade. So I just don't think it will be happening anytime soon. I agree with you there. Anyway, 9 out of 10 for me. Cheeto?
The one thing I wanted Cody Rhodes to get like an early pinfall on a roll up or something, and then Rock just to walk out and be like, bloodline rule.
Stop that shit.
No, he would have been like the bloodline rules. This is a 2 out of 3 falls match.
Yeah, like, or what they could have done is that thing of like Over the Edge 98 where like Austin fought Dude Love and Vince and company kept changing the rules as the match went along. Like, this is a reminder that this is a no count out match, and then 30 seconds later, this is a reminder that this is no disqualification. Like, that would have been funny if they would have did something like that.
Yeah, like have Paul Heyman standing there with a microphone on the at ringside, just changing the rules.
Yeah,
like as of now, we now we can have rope breaks. Like after one of the crossroads, so like he grabs the rope, like and he says, "Oh, we can have rope breaks now."
Yeah, that would have been great.
I know that would have been very gimmicky, but it would have been absolutely hilarious.
Yeah.
So, but no, I think that this was, and I agree with the ending, the organized chaos, 40 years of WrestleMania culminating into that moment. I get it. It's not 50 yet, but I mean, the Taker and I for sure, Taker's not going to be around forever. I mean, he's what, in his 50s now?
He's up there. Yeah, he's up there.
So,
you know what? Sorry, Cheeto. I would also have Taker and Austin. I'd have both of them in there. Fucking not just one or the other. I have them both. Well, but anyway, sorry.
Fair.
But yeah, I mean, but coming up, you know, like I think this was a good cap to 40. Like, I mean, it would, you know, and Cody Rhodes, if he didn't win, man, I would have lost my stuff. And I haven't even been watching wrestling. Like, this is the first time I've actually watched and been invested in wrestling in forever. This is the start of a new era. They need to run with it. And I think they will. I really feel like they're listening to the fans, and they are. The fact that they were willing to pivot on Cody so quickly shows us that they were actually listening to the fans. And I was saying in the beginning, I can't wait until Wednesday because I want to watch the behind the curtain of WrestleMania XL or whatever it was called. Like it's some kind of YouTube thing. I want to see that because I love to watch the gears and everything turn behind the scenes when everything's going, because they freaking, you know, that if this was Vince McMahon, you know that we would have had Roman Rock no matter what.
Oh, they would have. Yeah, Cody would have got pushed to the back of the line real quick.
Well, maybe. I mean, they did give in to the demand for Daniel Bryan, so you never know. You know?
Yeah, but still, I don't know. I feel like this is different.
Vince has gotten a lot worse as he got older, like way fucking worse, like even more just evil and stubborn. And it would have just been Rock versus Roman, and nobody would have given a fuck.
And here's something we haven't said yet. Did you notice every 10 WrestleManias they do this exact ending? They always have the good guy win, and then the good guy gets like this big fucking celebratory thing. Like at WrestleMania 10, Bret Hart got that. WrestleMania 20, Eddie and Benoit had that. WrestleMania 30, Daniel Bryan had that. So
good point.
We're not going to get that for another decade.
And WrestleMania 50 is going to be a massively landmark one. One more thing, fellas. Just to quickly ask you, what was the whole point of like the Shield thing? But I really thought, oh shit, John Moxley's back.
The reason why they did that is because when Seth betrayed the Shield 10 years ago, that has consumed Roman. Like that's all he's thought about is getting payback. So that was why they did that. Is because
he dressed up in his Shield gear and everything.
He basically distracted Roman Reigns. Like when Roman Reigns could have been focusing on
Cody.
On Cody, he was focusing on Seth Rollins rather than Cody, and that's what gave Cody the moment.
Zam was at 24.
Yeah, Zam was at 24.
Yes, it was. Okay. So first of all, a quick mark for night 2, fellas, and then we'll give both WrestleMania itself its general mark. I'll start with you, Cheeto, for night 2.
I'll give it a 7. There were some stinkers in there, but I mean, for mostly like it was still relatively good.
Ginger.
Yeah, I'll go with 7 as well. As great as the first and the last match was, and actually I'll go 8. 8 out of 10 because you had Bailey EO was great. The main event was great. The opening thingy was great. So now that I've had more time to digest it, I'll give it an 8.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and give it an 8. I thought that the opener, the women's match, and then the men's match. Those are the 3 matches you need to go out of your way to see. And also, we'd be remiss to not mention the Hall of Fame class. Props to everybody. Props to Paul Heyman, especially EC Dub. Yeah, it's an 8 out of 10 for me.
You know what? I'm gonna change mine to an 8 too, so I can be all trendy with everybody else.
The guy in the wheelchair.
Thunderbolt Patterson.
My God, I cringed there like fuck when he gave him his speech, man. It reminded me of Ultimate Warrior when he was doing his speech. His promo in WCW. Like, what the hell? End this now, please.
Sounded like we were at a sermon when he gave his fucking speech.
Yeah, you could tell he's not there anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give WrestleMania Night 2 a 9 out of 10. I loved it. Every match, including the shitty hardcore match, was all for me. Every match was above average. I enjoyed them all. No stinkers. Even though when I was expecting one. I enjoyed it. Great stuff. And the ending we all wanted. We got it. A new reign now, new era. Monday Night Raw is going to be really popular. It's going to be starting in not too long from now. So,
yep.
What we're going to give WrestleMania itself. I'll start with you, Jose. Both nights.
I'm going to go ahead and give it honestly about an 8 out of 10. I thought that this was honestly one of the really good WrestleManias. This will be one of the WrestleManias that will be talked about for years to come, not just because it's 40 years of WrestleMania, even though it's 39, because WWE always is off by a year. They fucked that up. I don't know how no one ever mentions it. But
they do.
Yeah.
They do.
Wait, how are they off by a year? What are you talking about?
Because WrestleMania 1 wasn't a thing. They just went from like WrestleMania 1, 2, and then how the fuck is WrestleMania 1 in 1985 and then WrestleMania 10 in 1994? That doesn't make sense.
Oh, I never knew that. I really never knew that. Oh.
That always irked me for some reason. It still does.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, WrestleMania 1 was 39 years ago, not 40 years ago.
Yeah, 39 years ago. Exactly.
Okay.
So it was just originally it was just meant to be an event like King of the Ring or like Survivor Series. So yeah, okay. I mean, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
It turned into something else.
Ginger.
I'll go with a 7 out of 10. There was a few stinkers, but it will be one of the most memorable WrestleManias in a long time. I mean, the last couple of WrestleManias have been absolute dog shit. I can't remember. I think not since Kofi won his belt have I enjoyed WrestleMania.
5 years ago.
Yeah, and
6 years ago.
6 years ago.
34.
5.
Oh yeah, 34.
5 years ago. Okay, we had the COVID WrestleManias, which they did a good job there, but anyway, I'll see. Yeah, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. I do want to say as well, one of the big MVPs of the night was Samantha Irvin as well, and what needs to be said about her and the passion she showed in it. She genuinely got emotional.
She cried when Cody won.
Yep. Yeah, and all the results, she definitely deserves a big shout out. Fuck off, Pat McAfee. Didn't like it. But that being said, the commentary did feel a lot less generic as it usually is. There was swearing. There was genuine emotions there. People were allowed to.
Michael Cole was genuinely emotional. I felt that emotion from Michael Cole.
Yeah, Michael Cole. The Michael Cole of this era is great. He's as good as I remember him when I was watching wrestling.
Wait,
one second. And just it's great just not having somebody in his ear all the time, literally dictating to him everything he should say. He'd become so generic, that it was to his detriment. People were hating on Cole, and I'm like, it's not Cole, it's Vince.
It's Vince. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
So,
I am now a Cole miner. I am on the Michael Cole hype train now. I love Michael Cole.
I
He's
hate that.
fucking
great
Name,
at what
he
coal
does.
miner.
The Cole
That's
miner.
also
Yep.
that's also because of time and stuff like that.
You sound
But
like a
he's about
pedophile.
That's what he calls his fans, coal miners. Yeah.
But he's the Jim Ross of this era for sure, and he's got many years left.
He was the Jim Ross of the yester era too. I mean, he's been around since the
I love Michael.
Late
Cole. He
90s.
just had a-
late 90s. Yeah,
He's a Hall of Famer, definitely of the future.
he
For
deserves.
me-
Sorry, Zam. Sorry to interrupt you. He deserves the fucking the bravery awards for putting up with that fucking 20 years of Vince in his ear.
Yep.
For sure.
and now having a
sorry,
problem with Pat
it's
McAfee.
Oh.
Cheetah, have you marked it?
did I?
No.
Yeah, you give it
Yeah.
an 8. I think.
I think it was an 8. I don't.
Okay.
That's what I was gonna give it, but I don't remember.
Well, look, I can't. I very rarely remember WrestleMania 17, but you ask when it comes to polls and votes and stuff like that. That's the one everyone says is the greatest WrestleMania of all time. I think WrestleMania 40 is could arguably be the one that might be able to take its spot.
No.
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 Look, that's your opinion. You know what I mean? Not
I got to be the general consensus.
Yeah,
Don't
well,
make me turn this fucking car
Well,
around.
after that watch wrestling.
yeah, but regardless, I for just as wrestling, not all these other bits and pieces you guys go on about like booking and fucking this looks like a Raw match, whatever. The matches themselves in this wrestling capacity were really well done, and most of them were. Some were beyond average. I liked it. I had a good time with it.
It's just stupid.
No, I'm not stupid. I'm just somebody who doesn't watch wrestling very much, and because of that, I enjoyed the show. It gets 10 sausages, baby.
Oh my god! Okay.
I will agree with Zam. I was not an Attitude Era mark, and I didn't love WrestleMania 17.
Were you two not hugged enough as children? What the fuck?
So I think this pay-per-view was better than WrestleMania 17.
I have to remind myself about 17 again because
TLC match. That's the only thing that's memorable. I'm sorry, Rock Austin. Who cares? No, they did that so many freaking times. Who cares?
Oh, that hurts. Oh, so much pain.
Okay, so like before we end this, just a quick run around regarding what we want to see in the future. Now, first of all, I'm a bit indifferent with Money in the Bank cash-ins now. I think something needs to change a little bit because this is supposed to be the Workman title, the World Heavyweight Championship. And now it doesn't feel like that when Damian Priest won it the way he did, but he never really worked for it. He beat somebody who was already had the shit beaten out of him personally. So in my opinion, I think when it comes to the Money in the Bank, when the person who has the briefcase should say, okay, fine, I want to have this particular pay-per-view as the period I want to win challenge for the title. That way it puts them on the card. We see what they like in the pay-per-view setting. If the fans react to them, and how the bookers use him, and overall, we get to see if this person could be a top tier guy in a pay-per-view capacity instead of having to do fucking run-ins and shit like that. But usually mid-carders get the briefcase, so this is a good opportunity to see how good they are. Maybe put them on a Vengeance pay-per-view or some shit like that. That's how I like to see Money in the Bank in the future, personally. Make it a bit more honorable than all this running in and fucking beating up a broken horse, personally. And regarding everyone else in the industry, I agree with you guys. 3-4 month title reigns, that should be how it should be, but not make everything too telegraphed and stuff like that, thinking, okay, now this person challenging for the title, they're going to win it, because we don't want that either. I like the fact that a lot of these matches, apart from maybe the main event, we all kind of knew who was going to win it. Or didn't know who was going to win it, which is a good thing. I think keeping people on their toes and not making things too obvious is very important. I knew Cody was going to win at the moment The Rock pinned him on night one. It was obvious, but still, it felt good. It is WrestleMania, but other than that, let's not keep matches too predictable. Unpredictability is the ultimate thing for me. So that's what I want from the future. Jose?
I know this is asking a lot, but internet wrestling community, please don't turn on Cody the moment that he has like a 3-month title reign and you guys are going to want someone new. Stick with it. You always say you want someone new. Here's your moment. He's your guy. You guys wanted him. He got it. So I don't know. Let's maybe stick with it and be patient and let this shit play out. I know people got tired of hearing that in the Vince era, but this is a new era now. Let's see where this goes. I'm excited. There's possibilities here.
Ginge?
So I think with everything that transpired in this Mania, there are a lot of threads coming out of this that actually has me genuinely excited to watch the product. If we start with Rhea Ripley and who is gonna dethrone her, who's like the next person stepping in. Charlotte's obviously still injured with her ACL. But there are people that are there. There is, Tiffany Stratton is coming up. You're going to have Jade Cargill. Bianca Belair could still come in there. So, there's not forgetting about Rhea. She is like the Roman Reigns of the women's division, but obviously much more entertaining, actually puts on exciting matches. So it's good to see what happens with her there. With Bayley, I'm not expecting too much. Her title runs are always just kind of forgettable, unfortunately. And she doesn't hold on to the titles for too long, from what I remember.
Yeah, she's a chaser.
So there's that. Sami Zayn, man, I don't give a fuck with that belt. Now it's, but with Gunther, we know Gunther is now entering the main event scene. So that is brilliant. A lot of wrestlers that just kind of showed up on the card and did their things are just plodding along. So the most important thing now is with Cody Rhodes. Yeah, and I agree with Jose. We don't want to be booing Cody now. This is just ridiculous. It's like you can't get upset that he almost had his moment taken away from him, gets his moment, then everyone boos him, cheers The Rock, and then now that he's got his moment, everyone's going to be like, okay, now you can go away. It's like stop it. Just fucking stop it. You're schizophrenic and it's frustrating. Now, in terms of The Rock, The Rock and Roman are going to move off.
This is going to be good. This is going to be good.
Yeah, so they're going to move off into their era. We're either going to see the birth of like a new NWO, and I don't mean that an actual NWO, like the bloodline is going to expand. We know Tama Tonga is signed up to the company. There's like Fatu.
BWO.
BWO.
Bloodline.
Yeah. I think Stevie Richards might sue, but okay.
So the interesting part is here is it The Rock going to build his own bloodline and say, I don't want Roman and his lackeys. I want people that I could trust into mine. So we're going to have bloodline versus bloodline kind of thing.
Or will Roman get tired of The Rock shit and kick him the fuck out?
Exactly. So, they're heading for their clash for sure. And that's the more exciting thread is what's going to happen there. But then you've also got Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. And that's another great thing. Damian Priest, don't count on it too much. He's going to lose about a Clash of the Castle for sure. But I think they've done a great job in planting a lot of seeds. You're not going home here for not yet another boring WrestleMania. Nothing's really been added in. You want to go and watch Raw in 10 minutes time and see what the fuck happens. Because every other Raw after Mania for the last couple of years has just been nothing really special.
Not to cut you off, sorry about that, but it's like, do you guys always notice too that it always peters out like a month after WrestleMania? Like a month after WrestleMania, the interest just isn't there. This is the first time where I feel like that's not going to happen. I feel like
it all depends. It all depends on how they take it from here, because as we were saying, like, I mean, they have to take Cody and run with it now.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you can't shit the bed with Cody now.
No,
you have to keep running. You got to keep that because the thing about the Attitude Era was that they kept it going and they kept like it was running. I mean, like I'm sorry, like the way that we look at the WWE is like WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Royal Rumble.
Yep.
Like, and those are the only pay-per-views that matter nowadays. Whereas in the Attitude Era, every pay-per-view you were tuning in because you wanted to see who was going to walk out the champion, because it was either Rock, Stone Cold, and those are not my favorite wrestlers, but I could see it. Everybody was glued because they wanted their guy.
And they got to get that. And I know they're not going to get the Attitude Era back, but they got to get back that anything can happen vibe, because that's been missing for so fucking long.
I just want to add to my defense. Sorry, James. I told my somebody, because I get a lot of shit for obviously somebody who doesn't watch wrestling that much, but even during my voyeurism, which is still now, I do go back, and when Vince was in charge, I would watch a bit of wrestling. I think to myself, I'm reminding myself why I don't watch this shit anymore. You know what I mean? I'm sure you get that sometimes as well, Cheetah, when you look back at wrestling and you think to yourself, okay, this is why I don't watch it anymore. There's this fucking stupidity here, and this is stupid, and this is dumb, and everything. I never really got that from WrestleMania this year.
I didn't either. As I said, they did all the right things, I think, in this WrestleMania.
So, which is why I kind of marked out for it, and I'm surprisingly happy with it, which is why I gave it the result I did, because it never had those Vincerisms, which put me off it in the first place. Anyway, Ginge.
Yeah, and so, but the thing is, so in terms of Money in the Bank, that needs to go. It's been a joke. Get rid of it. Pointless. They always fucking botch it up.
Death to gimmick pay-per-views in general. Death to gimmick pay-per-views in general.
No more gimmick pay-per-views. Get rid of them. But here is my frustration with the Triple H era, because it's been going on even when Vince got fired and Triple H kind of took over and all this kind of shit. The matches have been so boring and so many just spot monkeyisms and all this kind of shit. It needs to go. Okay, when you get matches like when Gunther is the one setting the bar in every pay-per-view that he's been in, and nobody's been able to follow him, okay, because everyone else, just go and watch all the other matches in the pay-per-view. You'll see it's just spot after spot after spot. It's like a 5 moves of doom on repeat. That needs to go. I want to know where the fuck is the NXT era of Triple H, those matches where NXT was the most must-see part of WWE. Every match was absolute banger. Okay, too many kickouts per match, but every match was an absolute banger. It was actual fucking wrestling. I haven't seen that, and I know that they want to kind of keep that weird Vince ethos with wrestling, but it needs to go. Wrestling needs to become what NXT was in its height.
Yeah, because with NXT, here's another thing too. It's the presentation that needs to change, because the camera cuts were quicker. You didn't see them talk to each other. You see that now. You see them telling each other what to do, and that should not be happening. Yes, I know that kayfabe is dead, but you got to be able to move quicker with the camera. You got to be like, all right, pick up the pace.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see the talking.
Yep.
I can see,
yeah. You know, so there is still a lot that needs to be changed. So they've done great. So since the whole fuck up with Rock versus Roman, that's when they took the momentum to start around it. Because before that, again, we were still at the era of the pay-per-views of shit. It still feels like that. But here on out, this is the most important thing, because you can't have, 14 pay-per-views in a year and then all the matches just being so fucking generic. So that's what, because if it does, then we're not going to be sitting here talking about wrestling. We're just going to be talking about WrestleMania.
Yep.
And that's where they need to be careful, because as much as I shit on AEW, I'll still watch AEW and be thoroughly entertained by the clusterfuck of it. Okay, there's always something there. Whereas WWE's been playing it safe, even post Vince McMahon up until now. And I think The Rock has been the key that has ignited a fire up everyone's ass to say, this is my era now. Let's just go a bit more fucking crazy. And when they go to Netflix,
that's when it's going to be.
Yeah. That's it.
I can't wait for bra and panty matches to come back.
Also, I think this is what they're doing post Mania is quite clever. We're already at the pay-per-view in Australia. We're gonna have one in France later on. Then obviously the Saudi Arabia shit happens too. Then there's gonna be one in Scotland.
Germany.
This is what they need to do after WrestleMania. Like, you are the world wrestling entertainment. Go around the fucking world and give fans what they want. Perform outside the United States, outside of North America, basically. Europe is gagging for you. Asia is gagging for you. Australia, Oceania areas.
The US is the only one that matters.
Yeah.
Damn. What a heel.
So
by the way, sorry. And also, when it comes to WWE Backlash, we are gonna fucking do a watch along because it's at a time
we have to. Yeah,
I can watch that shit.
Yeah,
I can watch that shit because it's happening in France, which is a similar time zone to us. So no problem.
Yeah, exactly. So I want to just interject it. So one thing I want to say as well, WrestleMania 45 should be in Puerto Rico. Okay, go back and watch the crowd in Puerto Rico. It was something else.
Yeah,
we think that our crowds over here were great. Fucking forget it. You can watch the clips on WWE's YouTube page. The crowd was something else. 45 needs to go to Puerto Rico, and WrestleMania 50 needs to come to England.
Yes,
it needs to come to England.
England,
They'll-
50.
England 50
Yeah, if you're
should
not
be
going to go
in
to
England
if you're not going to go
because
to the
they've got the
Garden,
next
go.
couple of years planned.
Yeah,
But 50 needs to be in England.
Mate.
It will be a cultural phenomenon, and it would be the best way to thank the fans that actually genuinely love your product.
Yep.
England's the second biggest market in the world, and it's not that far off from the American markets. It's like,
as much as I agree with you, I do 100% agree with you, and I want it to happen. The Americana of it, and then wanting to fucking stars and stripes out their fucking a-hole, will never let it come to England on 50, dude. You know what I mean? They're going to be fucking singing Land of the Free from their rooftop and shit and flying flags and stuff. They'll never want number 50. 49 could be in England, but they'll never let 50. It's just too much of a landmark.
If they're not going to go to the Garden, go to fucking England. I'm still mad that WrestleMania 40 didn't go to Madison Square Garden. I'm still mad that WrestleMania 30 wasn't even in the Garden.
Yeah, well, I think because they're too. I think the Garden is just too small now.
Yeah,
they love that giant ramp, which looks like something you should be fucking throwing a bowling ball down. You know what I mean? You know, so they want that shit. Every WrestleMania in recent years has had that humongous ramp. You know what I mean? So they want to keep that.
And they need to do.
Yeah.
Sorry, just to quickly interject. Every fifth Mania needs to be abroad. It needs to be abroad now. You can't be doing it all in America. Because
like a girl?
I say fifth. I'll
be
say
abroad?
third. I'll say third.
Like
no. Third is it's too much because there's a lot of logistics behind it.
3, 6, and 9 should be abroad.
3, 6, and 6 and 9 should definitely be abroad.
50 needs to be in England. That they have to do that. It's the least they could do to the fucking.
Well, Wembley Stadium.
I mean, look how amazing SummerSlam was. You know.
Because they've been fucking. They might as well go ahead and give it to you because they've been fucking teasing WrestleMania in London since like the 20s WrestleManias. They've been doing that for the last They've been doing that for like the last 20 years. Oh, we're gonna go to England one day for WrestleMania. When?
Where is
the Olympic Stadium? Because then I could get.
They haven't said that. That's one thing we need to talk about. They have not announced WrestleMania 41 yet.
Really?
Incredible.
Like normally they do at the
It's going to be in Minnesota.
It's going to be in Minnesota.
Oh yeah, usually they announce it in WrestleMania.
Yeah, they didn't do that. Not this year.
Wonder if it is going to be London
in April. It's going to be freezing up there.
They're probably going to go to Minnesota with Bab.
No, they want to have the Michael Cole weather report or meteorologist Michael Cole again. They're going to go someplace cold on purpose. Next year, WrestleMania is going to be in the Alaska Dome.
Well, if they're going to do like northern parts of America, like do it in an indoor arena, which is humongous because everyone that's why I give a lot of credit to the Philadelphia crowd because they were freezing their asses off on that one and they still fucking
showed up.
Well, there was a lot of body heat going around. I mean, come on, I don't think I felt like there was so much body heat.
If they do it at Wembley, we can close the roof as well. So
we got to close the roof. The Millennium Stadium as well in Wales is a good one too.
Yeah,
it's massive. We've got to enclose the roof on that too.
But I think they're going to go to Minnesota with Bob and John. That's what's going to happen there. It's going to be.
Yeah, there needs to be especially SummerSlam 2032 as a kind of an anniversary to SummerSlam 92, which was at Wembley. That needs to be at London as well.
Without a doubt. Yeah, Wembley needs to have a couple of big pay-per-views for sure. That'll be nice. Cheetah, did you give your thoughts on what you want in the future? I forgot.
No, he didn't.
I mean, I haven't been watching. So, I mean, what I want is kind of more of what we just got this past weekend. I want more emphasis on the wrestling rather than the shock factor of it. And shock factor is good. Like the cash into the Money in the Bank, that was good. Like that was good shock factor when Drew McIntyre got cashed in on. But like I don't want any more boring wrestlers. I don't want, like The Rock. Like The Rock is entertaining, but he's boring in the ring for me. Now, granted, he had a great showing this weekend, but that doesn't. I mean, that's going to get dull after Roman Reigns
to do more boss stuff and then have his lackeys do the work, like Vince did, kind of thing.
Yeah, and that's what I honestly want something like where he comes out and he goes, he get like Cody Rhodes got the pinfall on Roman early on in WrestleMania 40, and then Rock would come out and be like, "No, this is a 2 out of 3 falls match."
Like, I want The Rock to come out. I want The Rock to come out in the Godfather suit with the Usos like walking right up next to him, and they play the Godfather music, and he's like, "All right, here's what's gonna happen. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna make this a 2 out of 3 falls match, and you're not gonna massacre my boy. That's not what's gonna happen."
But I really think Seth needs to go and get better. I think we like our time of the Shield members. Like I know Dean Ambrose has been gone, or whatever his name is, John Moxley has been gone for a while. But like I feel like our era of the Shield is over. Like Roman Reigns needs to go and get better. Seth Rollins needs to go and get better. We'll give the ball to Cody, Gunther, like Kevin. Oh, I know you don't. Kevin Owens has been around for a while, but like
I like Kevin Owens, man.
I do like Kevin Owens, but I'm just saying, like, but he's not a part of like the new breed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even like LA Knight and Logan Paul, but like these new wrestlers that are up and coming, they just like give them the ball and let them run with it. Sami Zayn really needs to have him with the IC belt for a little bit, but elevate him. Get the IC belt off of him in a couple months.
Damien Priest is in his 40s as well, by the way. People
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of these guys are middle aged, but if they can,
that's because Roman Reigns has had the belt for 40 years. So I mean,
yeah, exactly. So, all right. Anyway, let's wrap this up. Thank you.
Come on, it's only 2 hours, guys. What are you talking about? We got another hour in the tank.
Let's be quick about this, but it was great.
We need to wrap this up right now. Damn it, let's go quickly.
I thought it was good for what we did anyway regarding the time. Anyway, thank you very much for watching NerdTube with the greatest YouTube channel you never heard of. Leave some comments below on what you think of WrestleMania 40, and don't forget to like and share, subscribe. Take care now. Bye bye.